Yvette from the McMath Library, a part of the Central Arkansas Library System. And today I'd like to show you all how to make a really cute fall wreath with items from Hobby Lobby and the dollar store. So what we'll need for our fall wreath, deco mesh. So we need deco mesh. I have 2 rolls of the 5.5 by 30 feet deco mesh from Hobby Lobby. I also have I have 2 rolls of the 5.5 by 30 feet, 5.5 inch by 30 feet deco mesh, also from Hobby Lobby. And I have various sizes of ribbon from Hobby Lobby, some really cute fall colors and patterns. I purchased all of these from Hobby Lobby. And the secret to shopping at Hobby Lobby is making sure that you buy these things when they're on sale. So we picked this up at Hobby Lobby when it was 50% off all fall items. So everything was pretty much on sale, and what wasn't on sale, we purchased with a 40% off coupon. So that's the trick. And there's also, you will need a wreath form. This is a 16-inch wreath form. You can get a 14-inch wreath form, would also work. If you want a bigger wreath, you can buy an 18-inch, but today we're using a 16-inch wreath form. It was $3.99, and I used a 40% off coupon from Hobby Lobby. So you need that. You'll also need chenille stems. They also come from Hobby Lobby, but sometimes you can buy them from dollar stores. And I picked up some cute embellishments. I have a fall sign here that I picked up from the Dollar General. It was on a stick. It was a yard sign, but I just took the stick off, and I have a cute little fall sign here. And I found a couple of flowers that I might put on at the end, depending on how the wreath turns out. And they were 50% off at Hobby Lobby. So let's get started on making our wreath. I'm going to cut the mesh, and I'm going to cut the mesh. I'm going to lay it out here on my measuring board here, and I'm going to cut 10-inch sections. So I'm going to cut several 10-inch sections. Here I lay out my mesh, and I'm going to cut it at the 10-inch mark. So I'm measuring to 10 inches, and I cut the mesh here. And I'm going to do this for the entire roll of mesh. You can use a rotary cutter if you'd like to cut your mesh. It does sometimes make it easier, make the process quicker. But I'm going to cut the entire roll of mesh, all 4 rolls. So I'll be right back after I cut the mesh. Now that I have cut each roll of mesh into 10-inch sections, I'm going to cut my ribbon. I have ribbon that I've chosen that coordinate with my mesh in different colors and sizes. So I'm going to cut the end of my ribbon. It was uneven. So I'm going to measure to the 9-inch mark and cut my ribbon. And I'm going to do this for each roll of ribbon until I get to the end of the roll. So I'm going to cut the ribbon now, and I'll be right back. Now I have completely cut each roll of ribbon in 9-inch sections, and I've gone ahead and dovetailed my ribbon. And to dovetail, it's just a cute method. It just makes the ribbon cuter, in my opinion. And the way that you dovetail is you just take your piece of ribbon and you fold it in half lengthwise. You fold it just like this. And you want to cut the ribbon at an upward angle, just like this. And it makes the ribbon cute to me. It doesn't look as plain, and it's called dovetailing. So I've gone ahead and dovetailed all of my ribbon, all except for the fall ribbon, because I just thought it was cuter without being dovetailed, and it's not wired. So I didn't want to have frays by dovetailing it. So now I'm going to take my mesh and we're going to start assembling bundles. And so we take the mesh and we roll it into a tight little curl, is what some people call it, just like that. And you gather it in the center. And then you can do it different ways. I decided to do a regular curl for the first piece of mesh and then a diagonal curl for the second piece of mesh. So you just curl it tightly and bunch it together in the center. So you bunch it together in the center and hold it together like that. And then you choose what type of ribbon you want to go with it. So here I just chose a variation of colors. So I'll go with this one. Or actually, no, I'm going to use the beige colored ribbon for this one. So I just kind of lay it on top of the 2 pieces of mesh. Now grab another piece and I bunch it. I grab it and then I'll bunch it as well. So I decided to go with the fall ribbon. So I'll bunch it in the center, and you can just kind of make it diagonal to where all pieces will show once you put it on your wreath frame. So I put it all together here, kind of fan it out, and then I'm going to take a chenille stem and wrap it around my bundle of mesh and ribbon. I'm going to wrap it in the center. And I'm going to just twist my pieces of chenille stem around the bundle until it's tight. So you just give it a couple of twists, maybe 2 or 3. Make sure that it's tight. Make sure you have all of your pieces of mesh and ribbon into the bundle, because if you miss any of the ribbon, it will come out of your bundle. And then you just kind of fan it out like so, to make sure that all of your pieces show. You want to be able to see all of your pretty mesh and your ribbon on the wreath. So I just kind of fan it out just like this. And that's how you make your bundles. It's really simple. So I'm going to make a few different variations of my mesh and ribbon bundles, and I decided to do each piece of mesh in a diagonal instead of diagonal and plain. So I'm rolling each piece of mesh in a diagonal curl, and I trim off a couple of strays or frays, and I will do some variations of orange mesh with multicolored mesh and different variations of ribbon. You can choose to do whatever variation you like. I just kind of mixed it up. I didn't go in any particular pattern. I just went with what I thought was pretty. And so I just put all of my mesh and my ribbons together. And so I'm going to do different variations and patterns, and then I'll be right back to show you how to attach your bundles to your wreath frame. Now I have created several different bundles of, I keep saying bundles, guys. I don't know what else to call these, but I've made several different little bundles of ribbon and mesh. So I'm going to attach them to the wreath frame. Here, my 16-inch wreath frame. I'm going to put them on the wreath frame, take off the tag, of course, and then I will put them on the wreath frame. Now I'm going to take my bundle and attach it to my wreath frame. And I do this by taking the two pieces of chenille stems and placing one on each side of the two center bars of the wreath frame, just like so. So you take your two pieces of chenille stem and you put it on the two center bars, like I have here. So you see they're on the two center bars here. And I will just take those each chenille stem and stick it on either side, turn my bundle around to make sure that it's diagonal, and then I'm going to twist my chenille stems 2 or 3 times together to make sure that the bundle is secure onto the wreath frame, just like so. And I pull tight to make sure that it's not too loose. Just like that. So now it's attached to your wreath frame. It should look like that. So I'm going to take the next bundle and attach it to the wreath frame just like I did the first one. So you put your 2 chenille stems on either side, just like so. You want to put your 2 chenille stems on either side here. And you want to turn your wreath frame over and tighten it. Once I get this in here, let's see. Chenille stem is giving me a hard time. So I pull my chenille stem through, just like so, and make sure that it is diagonal. My bundle is diagonal, so that it will lay right next to the first one. And I turn my wreath frame over, just like this, and I tighten my 2 chenille stems. And I tighten it 2 or 3 times, sometimes 4, just to make sure that it's really secure on the frame. And so it should look just like this. You can fluff out your ribbon as you go, or you can wait and fluff it at the end. I sometimes do a variation of both, but it should look just like this. And it'll start becoming fuller as you go around. This is how your wreath will look once you have attached all of your bundles. I think it turned out really cute, guys. Now I'm just going to fluff the wreath and spread out the bundles and the ribbon. I used about 48 bundles for this wreath. I had 8 sections on the wreath frame, and so I put 6 bundles per section, but you can totally use 4 bundles or 5 bundles per section, depending on how much ribbon or mesh you have or how full you want your wreath to look. I'm just going to cut a few frays and extra ribbon and just fluff out my wreath to have it show the ribbon the way I like. But I think it turned out so cute. And then afterwards, we're going to flip this over and we're going to cut down our chenille stems and tuck them into our wreath frame. So let's cut down the stems. Now that I have cut down my excess chenille stem and tucked it into the wreath frame, I'm going to attach this sign to the wreath frame. This sign I did purchase at the dollar store. So I'm going to show you how to attach this to your wreath using 2 chenille stems that I have. So first, we're going to take a chenille stem and fold it in half lengthwise, and make sure that it's even. So you just fold it in half like this, and you put it on the top of your sign. I used hot glue to attach this to the top of my sign. And I get really close to my fingers, guys, but I did not burn myself. But be very careful when using hot glue. For those who have never used hot glue, it is extremely hot. So you want to be very careful. And you can even wear gloves to protect your fingers. But I was very careful. I did not burn myself. But I put a generous amount of hot glue onto the chenille stem like so. And I'm going to hold it down onto the sign and let the glue set for a bit. So I'm just going to hold it for a little while to give that glue some time to dry. And it may take a couple of minutes for the glue to completely dry. And I'm just going to hold it here for just a minute or two so that it can dry and become solid. And once I finish holding, once I allow it to dry some, I'm going to attach one to the bottom. As you can see here, I'm going to attach a chenille stem to the bottom of my sign using hot glue. Once again, I am getting close to my fingers, guys. I promise I did not burn myself. But please be very careful when using hot glue. I'm going to glue or attach the chenille stem to the bottom of the sign using hot glue and allowing it to dry for just a little bit so that glue can set and it will stay on the back of the sign. So I'm just adding a generous amount here and holding it down so that it can dry. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to dry here. So it seems to be pretty dry. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more glue to make sure that it's nice and secure on the back of the sign. And then we will attach the sign to the wreath. And just add a little bit more glue here. And it seems to be pretty secure. So while that bottom part is drying, I'll check the top. The top seems to be pretty dry. And we're going to attach it to the sign, and it's going to turn out so cute. Now that I have attached the chenille stems to the back of my sign, I'm going to attach it to my wreath by pulling the chenille stems through the lower bar on the wreath frame to secure it to the wreath frame. So if you see, I'm just getting the chenille stems pulled through, and I'm just wrapping the chenille stems around the wreath frame to secure it to the actual frame. So I'm just going through and pulling them and just wrapping them around as tightly as I can into the actual wreath frame itself. And once I get this one finished, then I will attach the 2 chenille stems at the top here to the wreath frame as well to make sure that it is secure and it won't fall off of the frame once I hang it. And you just wrap them around. And you can tie the chenille stems, or you can loop the chenille stems into the shorter chenille stems that you've secured to the frame, the bundle chenille stems that you've secured to the frame, or you can simply just twist them really tightly onto the frame. There's several different ways to secure it, but I just chose to wrap them. I just chose to wrap them around the bar of the wreath frame, the bottom bar of the wreath frame. And then we're going to turn it over and fluff it. So now that I've secured the sign onto the frame, I'm just going to push the sign down into the wreath, get it nice and snug, and pull out some of the ribbon and mesh to just get it to frame my sign. And as you can see, I'm just kind of pushing and fluffing as I go. So I will just kind of fluff it out. Here is the wreath after I fluffed it and moved my ribbon in place. And I think it turned out nice. I'm going to I decided to add my flowers for embellishment. So this one has a clip on the back. I'm going to just clip it into the wreath. I don't even have to use hot glue or anything. It just clips right in. So I'm going to clip this one here. If I can get it to attach, I'm going to just clip it right in place on the wreath here. It doesn't want to stick. So let's see. Okay, so we will stick it. I kind of pushed it into some of the mesh so that it will kind of grab inside of the mesh and hold in place. So I'm sticking it there. And I'm going to add the other one at the bottom of the wreath. I can just get this one to stay in place. And there it is. So that one's there. It's so nice. I like that. So we're just going to kind of spread the ribbon out around it. And then I'm going to attach the second flower at the bottom. So I take my next flower, and it also has a clip on the back of it. You can see in the camera, there's the clip. So I'm going to clip it in place, just like I did the first one. Hopefully it doesn't give me a hard time here. So I'm just going to clip this one in place, just like I did the first one. And oh my gosh, that's so cute. I'm sorry, I keep saying cute, everyone. I think it turned out so nice. So I just adjust my ribbon and my mesh. And this is how the wreath turns out. Oh my goodness, I'm very pleased with this. I hope you all will try this at home. Remember to get your products on sale. You can even get some products from the dollar stores. Go out and be creative and have a ball. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a nice day.